jobs confirmed, 6 jobs saved, 6 elections affirmed. The Supreme Court has spoken. And now what it means is that 6 governorship appeals that were brought before the Supreme Court today for it to decide, and it's made pronouncement in those cases affirming the elections of these governors. Take a look at them. The governors of Nasarawa, Kaduna, Kebbi, Ogun, Delta, and that of, which other state is it? Gombe. It's failing in these states. I don't know what's going on. And there's been reactions to this judgment from, of course, from Kaduna. You can see reactions trailing the decision of the Supreme Court, and up to Delta in Ogun, and of course Nasarawa. There are different reactions trailing some of the judgments that have come out of the Supreme Court. One of the states which a lot of Nigerians were expecting today is out of Nasarawa State. Of course, a lot of people who have followed how this has panned out will imagine or be looking forward to it, because it's one of those out of the 6. Of course, a case like Kaduna also, there are a lot of expectations on these 2 states and how the Supreme Court is going to rule in that direction. Tonight we'll be bringing you up to speed and bringing you right in the front seat in some of these cases. Tonight I'm being joined by the Nasarawa State Governor, Governor Abdullahi Sule. He joins us live here in our Abuja studio. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Sean. Nice to see you again.
Thank you so much. Congratulations on your victory today.
Thank you very much.
It was a narrow path. It's a case of either you win or you lose. What were you expecting today?
I was expecting to win. The reason being, first, at the tribunal, we had 3 judges. They disagreed with themselves. They couldn't even agree, all the 3 of them. 2 of them actually voted against us, therefore we lost. One of them had a very comprehensive report, and he voted for us, and he said we won. And so we picked from there, and then went to the appeal court, where there were now more experienced senior judges, and all the 3 of them unanimously said we won. So you can imagine I came into the Supreme Court with a lot of confidence. I had no whatsoever any doubt in my mind. There was no ambiguity about the fact that we were going to win, and I didn't expect anything less than that. But we thank God Almighty for making it possible.
A major contention in that matter is the issue of overvoting in your election, that you emerge out of an overvoting situation. But I will imagine that on the other side, especially from Mr. Ugu, who was expecting that the Supreme Court, after the appeal court, has given a judgment that Mr. Ugu and his team had thought that it was a watertight decision, the lead decision in the appeal court, and thought that the Supreme Court was going to rule in that direction. A lot of people will think, oh, maybe you might just think that it's time to go home, Engineer Abdullahi Sule, back to your profession that you've been to before you came into government. You thought that for a moment, it could go either way, isn't it?
I never thought it would go either way.
You were very confident.
The reason why I will tell you that is because from the beginning, they discussed about this overvoting, and they brought the VBAS machines. Okay, I'm not a lawyer, but they brought those VBAS machines that will determine and confirm whether there was overvoting or not. None of those VBAS machines was even operated open or decided. In case they were open, probably our lawyers could have argued and say, oh no, these were not the right VBAS machines. But they were not even open at all. They brought them, they took them back. So that was the basis of the proof. And that's what our lawyers
were
at the trial court. At the tribunal, they just brought them and took them out. Now, a lot of people just keep talking about overvoting, and they keep talking about Gayam Ward and Chiroma Ward. So according to the opposition, in Gayam Ward, the INEC gave us extra 20,000 votes. In Chiroma Ward, according to them, they gave us extra 30,400 votes. That's 50,000 votes. So go back and look at the arithmetic. We won the election by 347,000 to 283. So say take the entire 51,000 votes. And that's what actually the third judge at the tribunal did. He took the entire 40,000 votes and threw them away and came up with his decision. So if you do, you will still come up with roughly about 297 against their 283. But what they did was they said, okay, the same overvoting they were accusing us, so they went to Ashige, where also there was overvoting, and the INEC cancelled it. And they brought that back on into it. And that's what the appeal court actually said. You are not being fair to the other party. Why will you say you disagreed with overvoting with one of the parties, but then you agreed with the other parties? But to be honest with you, Asheun, I'm happy it's over, it's gone, it's finished. That's the end of it. And we can now focus on the job and move on.
There is also the saying on the ground that maybe Abdullahi Sule has lost the followership that brought him into office in the first term. You look at the elections that your party lost, senatorial seats, House of Reps seats that you lost, and the imaginations of politicians on the ground that there is no way practically possible that you would have won that election only because the election was rigged in your favor.
This election was completely different from so many other elections. In Lagos, we lost the presidential election, 700,000 votes to something. In Kaduna, we lost the presidential election by those kind of numbers. In Katsina, we lost the election by that. You can go to so many states. That's what happened. As a matter of fact, in the south, in the northeast, we only won at the presidential election, Borno. All the 5 other states, Adamawa, we lost the election. So these elections is not about party. It's about individuals. It's about capacity. It's about competence. It's about people who can deliver. So the question of you lost this is all a matter. I had people who contested for senatorial elections under SDP. Somebody like Wadada. He will go in and actually during the campaign, I say, I am campaigning for myself for SDP, but I'm campaigning for A.A. Sule because he is the most competent person among all the gubernatorial candidates. These were the kind of elections we had. So if we lost those senatorial seats as a result of internal wranglings within APC. It's not because APC has lost ground in Nasarawa State, and that's what happened.
But again, there are those who will say 2 strong leaders of your party were not with you before your election. You lost ground in several districts of your state. You lost ground politically, internally. There was wrangling within your party, and the dynamics that you took to the election was against you. It wasn't in your favor.
The dynamics were 100% for me. The reason is because these were the kinds of issues that they mentioned. Talk about the same issues that I told you about people who will go campaigning under one platform and again still campaigning for the governor just because they had their own problems within the party. This election was beyond party. It was actually about individual, and that's what happened. Well, let's talk about the PDP in that case. At the same presidential election that you are talking about, APC actually defeated PDP. We were defeated by Labour Party, not by PDP, because APC came second in the same election. So if that is the case, then the Labour Party gubernatorial candidate will have won the gubernatorial election. But he was not even close. So it's about individuals. And I think Nasarawa State has always done that. We demonstrated that, in the year 2011, where CPC was the only state that CPC actually won gubernatorial election. 20, the same day, the same election, 20 members of the House of Assembly out of 24 were PDP. Yet, only 4 were APC, yet we won the gubernatorial election. So Nasarawa is not about party. It's
but you
about
cannot take away the fact that you had issues internally in the APC.
Nobody doesn't have issues.
But you had a major issue. Some of the leaders of your party were not with you, Governor.
There was no leader that has come out to say it's not with me.
But I mean,
these are speculations.
They may not be able to come out. These are not speculations, sir.
Yeah, but
these were issues in your party prior to the election.
In Kefi, where Abdullahi Adamu was the distant, we won the largest margin in Kefi, 15,000 votes that we won in the entire Kefi zone. And that is his local government.
Was Senator Makura with you?
100% with me.
I mean, because what we hear on the ground is totally different.
What you hear is different.
The body language of the politicians who were in your party thought that they were not on the same page. In fact, they said they supported other candidates other than yours.
Well, they have not come out to campaign for. We have not seen them going out with any candidate. We have not seen them talking for any candidate.
Maybe in the dark,
we have not.
In the open, they may not.
So something happening in the dark, I can. You probably know in darkness. I don't know anything darkness. As far as we are concerned, they came out clearly. They campaigned for me. They went everywhere with me. Abdullah Adamu went everywhere with me in Kefi Zone. Abdullah Adamu, again, up till this moment, he went to all the court judgments. Every day there was a court decision. He went for me.
You were able to resolve your differences before the election?
We didn't even have any differences to resolve.
Are you a better politician after this old tussle?
I have learned a lot, but I don't know whether I'm a better politician. But I've learned a lot. But the process for me, as far as I'm concerned, is that I came in actually to set a foundation, for the kind of work in Nasarawa. And the people are seeing it, and the people are appreciating it. And all the noise you hear on the street is not indicated in Nasarawa State. We don't see it on the ground.
I mean, what would be the biggest lesson that this has taught you? You were a professional who came into politics. I mean, a lot of people will say, Abdullah Sule is not a politician. And that's why some of the problems you had in this election were evident. And those who will say, oh, it's because he's not the kind of politician that has been on the ground in the ilk of those kind of politicians that you met on the ground. But then, what would be your biggest lesson that you have learned?
You see, the politician is not always that politicians are the ones who win elections. People sometimes look at other indices rather than just being a politician. In Nasarawa State, I cannot compare myself to the late Ali Akwedoma being a politician. He lost. As a sitting governor, he was defeated. I always like to give example with Nasarawa State. He was a politician while I was still in primary school. You see, these are the kinds of things that are there. But you see, some of the things that you hear on the social media, some of the things that you hear in the news, sometimes some of us find it very difficult to understand. Yes, I'm not your everyday kind of politician because I came in with a vision in order to add value, to develop, to bring out what is happening in Nasarawa State. And every one of those areas we are seeing a result. Today, Nasarawa State is going to be an oil producer. Today, Nasarawa State is going to be the first state that has discovered huge commercial lithium, and we are going to commission the first factory that we have. Today, I can go in today on so many things, but that's what I came for. I came in to do that. But in the process, you have to play politics sometimes, and we are doing that.
If you have to play politics, then would you?
Yeah, well, we are playing it.
No, I'm saying, I mean, this is your second time as governor.
Yeah.
But if the opportunity presents itself for you to put yourself into politics again, would you do that?
For the third time
not as a governor,
okay.
But in any other capacity, would you want to be on the ballot again if the opportunity presents itself?
I'm not sure about that because I have come in only to be a governor. I didn't come in to be a chairman of local government, a member of the Senate, a House of Representatives. I didn't have any dream for any of those things.
Even the president?
Even the president, I had no dream for that.
But if it comes your way?
President is not easy thing.
Or even senator?
A lot of people know. This I can tell you categorically today. A.A. Sule will not go for Senate.
So when after being a governor,
you have
for 8 your years, eyes on what you want to do.
I have done, by the time I finish my 8 years, I will do whatever. So you can take it from me confidently, not the kind of question they ask me hypothetically. This is confidently, that I have no intention of running for the office of the Senate. You can save this tape and play it one day.
What would you say to Mr. Omugadu tonight?
I told him many times before. Many times people have spoken and I told him, this is not your turn, my brother. Wait for your turn. We have a governor that with all sense of humility, you cannot compare your credentials with him in any way whatsoever. I have a governor that has vision. I have a governor that has history, has background, has set up and has proven beyond reasonable doubt, for those who would like to see. And because of that, it is not yet your turn. You are still young. You still have time to go. Come and partner with us. You don't have to join APC, but give us some of your own ideas. We can turn it, we can work with you, because this particular journey is over today. So if you are getting ready to come and participate in the development of Nasarawa State, we are ready to partner with you for the development of Nasarawa State. That's it.
So you are ready to work with him?
Oh yeah, I'm ready to work with I'm the governor of every citizen of Nasarawa.
I'm talking about Mr. Omugadu. He's giving you a tough contest. He's giving you a run for your money in this election.
I don't know about run for the money. He contested the election, he lost. I won the election. He went to tribunal, he had a split decision. We went to appeal court, we got 3-0. We went to the highest court, we got 5-0. I don't know what is the context for the money.
The money that you spent in all of these cases, you wouldn't have spent it if Umbugadu had not contested against you.
Umbugadu, Labaran Maku, and this and that had all taken me during 2019 election. So it's just a repeat. They took me all the way to Supreme Court in their 2019. So it is not today that I have faced this kind of challenge. And in the history of Nasarawa State, there has never been any election since 2019 that Nasarawa, the opponent, had not gone all the way to Supreme Court. So I expected I was going to be taken all the way to Supreme Court.
This election, Governor Sule, had largely divided the people of Nasarawa State. Ethnic line, the religious line. This is not the first time we are hearing it, but this time around it's also intense. Now that the dust is settled, how do you hope to pull the fiber of your state together to unite your people? Is it supposed to be your immediate task?
No, my immediate task is the security of the people and development of the state. The question of all these other issues you have mentioned is something driven by a few number of people, people that have come out. Now, what has brought about this? They use the Muslim ticket as the basis of this division. If not, this is not the first time I ran for governor. I ran in 2019. We didn't have these kind of problems. So they bank on that area and kept talking about it, and kept talking about ethnicity, about religion, about this.
But is a Muslim ticket the right thing to do, though? Politically, morally, and legally?
We have won election with it.
But is it right?
No, I'm saying we have won election with
it. Does it appeal to the sensibility of those who are also citizens of the state, who are of the other religion?
Democracy is freedom. APC was not the only political party. So those who didn't have any problem with that voted for Asuwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Those who had problems with that went to the other parties that didn't have Muslim ticket. That's what democracy is all about. It's a political
sensibility that the politicians are playing on. But is it the right thing to do?
No, it's not about political sensibility. You know, it's about a vision. It's about a program. It's about somebody that you can work with. You know, so if he made up his mind as a candidate that the best person that I feel I can work with happens to be of certain religion, okay, he decided to take that decision. You can't blame him. That's what happened.
So in all of this, you don't think unity of the people is important?
Unity of the
Nasarawa State people?
We have a lot of Christians in the party. We have people from all the ethnic groups in our APC.
So in the aftermath of the Supreme Court judgment, you don't think you need to pull your people together to unite them? The election divided them largely.
We have always done that. We have always brought people together. We have always preached peace.
But this is different. This is an aftermath. Everything is done now. Yeah. Everybody should go back to loving Nasarawa State. But to do that as a leader, don't you think you need to bring everybody back to the table and say, let's refocus?
Sheun, if you actually listen to my speech or watch my video, that's exactly what I did. I told them that God Almighty has brought all of us from Nasarawa State, different breed, different. I even quoted section of my Quran that God says that I'm going to bring you from different backgrounds, and then the whole idea come and work together as a people. That is something I continue to do, not before, not after, continuously as far as calling the people to unite is concerned. I came and inherited some problems of ethnicity. I'm doing everything possible to solve them. Some of them I was not even around, you know, when they happened. Today, the problem between the Basa and the Igwiras, we have been working on them. I inherited that problem. You know, so there are so many problems like that, but it is not today. It's not because of this election alone. You know, it's a problem that has been on ground.
Let me show you what greeted the outcome of the Supreme Court on the street of Lafia today. Protest from the PDP. And this is the kind of scene and the scenario, pictures coming in from Lafia. Bonfires and agitation from the People's Democratic Party supporters. This is the kind of scenario that I'm talking about. If not properly handled and managed, can escalate so badly. And that's what I'm asking, whether you as a governor and the leader of the state will look at the sensibility of the people in this regard and deal with it urgently.
Sheun, I wish you have shown the other pictures. This is something about somebody in front of their office. They burn it. And then the way the story is going is like the whole of Lafia is on fire. In front of the PDP office, they brought these tires and put them. 38 people did this. Today, the 38 people, for doing this, and causing problems have been arrested. Since they were arrested, Lafia has been in celebration. I wish you can now show the other picture of celebrations all over Lafia.
Your supporters?
Of course.
Was jubilating about your
Of course.
victory.
Yes.
Let's go to the issue of governance in Nasarawa State.
Yes.
Security is a major issue. There is an escalation of kidnapping and insecurity within the capitals, the nation's capital, Abuja, the FCT. And these, whatever concern the FCT, must concern Nasarawa State.
Absolutely.
Because there are a lot of the communities in Nasarawa State that are satellite towns to the FCT. A lot of people who are living in Nasarawa who work in Abuja. In this regard, I know that a few initiatives have been brought up. The Mietiala, the Fulani community, there are vigilante groups that are now being put together to fight these. How are you dealing with that situation? Because a lot of people within the perimeter of your state, within the fringes and the satellite communities are worried.
Worried about what?
About insecurity.
No,
and the kidnapping.
No, you see, insecurity, you have to look at it from different perspectives. It's just like this bonfire that you showed me in front of one office, and then we say Lafia is on fire. So it's the same kind of scenario, you know, where you talk about the insecurity, look at Lafia or look at Nasarawa State, okay, before we came in. Look at Nasarawa State today. Go to the real true farmers, not politicians, ask them, have they improved, have they been able to go to their farms now? Have they been able to do that? As a result of these efforts in security, today, Nasarawa State is #1 in the sesame production, sesame farming in the nation. Nasarawa State is #2 in yam production in the nation. Nasarawa State is #2 in cassava production in the nation. If the insecurity is so bonfire, the way you are describing it, then all these people will not be able to go to farm. So what you read on the social media where people take pictures sometimes and show you what is happening in Afghanistan in that and say it is actually happening.
Are you saying that the insecurity situation is not real?
It is real, but it is not, it's highly exaggerated.
The kidnappings are exaggerated too?
No. There are kidnappings everywhere around Nigeria. There are kidnappings right here in Abuja.
But we're talking about a few weeks ago, Governor,
yes,
which is escalating. The minister of the FCT says that they are already handling and seeing those who are informants of these bandits who are invading or coming into the capital city. Right. So if they are coming into the capital city, and I'm asking a direct question that there's a nexus between whatever happens in the FCT and Nasarawa State, and as a governor, which some of these incidents that have happened in the past has bothered you because you know the closeness of your state and the FCT, and that's what I'm asking. In terms of proactiveness, what are you doing?
In terms of proactiveness, you will see that I met with the FCT minister. You will see that we met with the governors of the North Central. You will see that we met with the military officers. We met actually with Mr. President on the issue of this. Every now and then, we meet within the state, and we keep resolving these issues. Security is a responsibility of everyone. So therefore, just yesterday or 2 days ago, you have seen it's in Nasarawa State that the Fulani vigilante have formed and started also working in ensuring, because they know where and the route to go, for this kind of Fulani militants. And so they are helping the security agencies in order to do that. We are starting that in Nasarawa State. So these are the kind of things that you see.
Yeah, my final question would be in the area of mining. I understand that the state is interested in mining and that there are licenses that you are looking at. Can you, in 30 seconds, give us a summary of what that is and what is it lithium that you want to mine?
The state is interested in mining. The state is called mining. It's a state of solid minerals.
But you know that the federal government and the private sector are usually the ones who exploit these processes.
Yes, but it's companies that do it, not federal government. Federal government gives out licenses. Nasarawa State has obtained 3 licenses to give you the direct answer. One is for lithium. We have obtained the license. 2, there is gold deposit in Karo local government. We have obtained a license in that particular area. Also in Toto local government area, we have also obtained another license for tin mining. So we located the areas where there are prospects have already been carried out, and we have seen it, and we applied for licenses in those particular areas.
So tin, lithium, and gold.
Correct.
And you are going to soon be petroleum producing area.
Inshallah.
So Nasarawa State is going to be the next big thing.
Nasarawa State is already a next big thing.
I wish you the best. We'll see how that all of these companies that you're setting up are going to be owned by Nasarawa State 100%. Or backed by private sector.
Exactly. We have PPP arrangements already in housing. You know, a lot of the housing estates that we are building are PPP arrangements. The ShopRite we are building is PPP arrangement. So, you know, that's my expertise, my brother.
Land and properties in total in Karu will now go up with this announcement now because the exploration, one thing that happened in Dangote refinery and its environment, people started buying and properties are now expensive in those areas.
There you go. And that's exactly what is happening in Nasarawa State. Most of the places we constructed roads and housing is coming up, all the properties have come up. If you go there now, you won't find any land for 5 million, 10 million naira.
And this is how I've appealed to your colleagues right here on the program, that each state needs to take their destinies into their hand and explore the God-given potentials under the ground.
There you go.
Doing this, you don't need the federal government in most cases.
There you go.
I wish you the very best, and I hope that some of the states also will be able. And at the end of the day, it's not exploring it, it's also making it beneficial to the people of the state.
And that's exactly what is happening in
I wish you the very best. You can smile today, Governor. I would like to
I've always
and sleep well, too.
I told you many times, I wanted to appear on your program. The lawyers will say, no, don't go, because they know me. I'm blunt. I'm going to say something.
You say the way it is.
Yeah, I will say it the way it is. And then they are afraid maybe that will be detrimental to our case also. But I'm free to do that now. So, free at last.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you,
Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State.
Thank you very much.